This is yes, apparently yes. That is the internet right here. We're all alt-right, conservative.
That's actually people actually think that though.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be the case. Welcome to a different perspective where civil commentary is priority. Today is Saturday, May 6, 2023. Well, hello. Hopefully everyone's having a great weekend. Today's topic of discussion is to confront a question that I've heard many times from a particular podcast. And today I'm going to address that very question. Why do people perceive the podcast SideScrollers as a right-wing YouTube content channel / show? That's something this video will explain and provide examples to answer that very question that SideScrollers themselves ask their audience on a consistent basis. But before I engage, I just want to go ahead and put out a caveat out there just to emphasize this is not meant to spread hate, to make divisive content against the podcast, against the creator, Craig. I mean, if anything, I think Craig is a decent dude. He's a good family man. And I do see that he gets a lot of, his fair share of hyperbolic criticism. So I'm willing to bet that's going to mold your mentality and make you a little bit more cynical, even if you're going to encounter constructive criticism. Because I think he had some choice words with one of my tweets. He was kind of like not happy and a little bit rude. I mean, I'm grown, I can take it, and I can give it too. So, in my opinion, Craig and two of his co-hosts, and this is, I just feel like they're more, I guess you could consider them political normies. Political normies feel comfortable talking about culture war topics such as wokeism, cancel culture, and the mainstream, current political takes that you see. Remember, Craig is also from Texas, so every now and then, you're going to see a conservative spin. If it comes out, it's okay. It's okay. Perhaps he doesn't realize it, and that's okay too. So sit back, relax, and be ready for a good faith critique that addresses the question, why do people perceive SideScrollers as right-wing content? So let's go ahead and look at the first video clip, and just to give you some context with that, Craig was talking about the X-Men, the comic. They found some article online discussing how some people were upset how the word man is in X-Men, so it's about gender and all that. It's a very niche conversation about a niche societal topic. And, I really don't invest a lot of my political capital on pronouns, but Adam is going to go off on a goofy tangent, and Travis is going to try to save him. I don't know why Travis defends Adam so much, but we're going to go ahead and look at it, and I'll go ahead and pause it to give you my take.
I know.
Because most people have common sense, and common sense tends to win over these ideological battles that people tend to try to have with others.
Let me ask you a question.
Hey, common sense. You know what? He's made of common sense. He's the one guy that I don't consider the two that are political normies. He is definitely way out there.
Since Adam said he hates,
so I just muted it there. So
is that super liberal or alt-right person? Which one is that? Which idea is that? So
Travis just asked a really dumb question. I'm just going to be blunt. Everyone's against that, Travis. Nobody's for the exploitation of minors. I mean, I just feel like bringing that camera close to my face and saying, dude, nobody is for the exploitation of minors. That's a freebie. All right? And Travis, I expect more from you. Push back. If you're going to pull your liberal card out, do something. Because look at how Adam is going to just counter the charitability that's coming from Travis. It's just really annoying being a person on the left, just allowing somebody on the right to steamroll you. I'm an ex-Republican, I'm an ex-conservative, so it's just not in my nature to be victimized like this.
I'm pretty sure it's the liberals that are more into into
Well, and that's why I'm asking.
touching
So
babies.
it depends on which side he's on and his viewpoint. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, Travis. He just pretty much doubled down. And you're just like, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. But no one knows what you're talking about. And they're just going to throw you under the bus.
And that's why I asked the question. Yeah, we need to explain ourselves, but the gay liberal is the one who was talking first in that conversation. So
Wait, I don't know what are we talking about? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, they're like, gay liberal. I don't want to talk about what? No. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some kind of camaraderie after the show. I don't know, but man, they're just like, based on the context of what we get to see as viewers, it's just like, okay, yeah, so that's not something we like to mention around here. We don't talk that way. But anyways, come on, Travis, you can do better. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some other takes that are just showing some of that common sense just oozing out. Because you know what? If somebody's going to hold somebody accountable, that's why I make my content, to do it in a civil way and hopefully make good arguments. So if you agree with what I like, please show your appreciation by subscribing, putting a like, making a nice comment, follow me on Twitter. So let's go ahead and continue this little journey.
The mom and pop websites are gone.
Mom and pop.
that's why.
Mom and pop websites. And I think he was also arguing for small content creators earlier on from this, before this, cut in the clip. And I think Craig does a really good job of holding Adam accountable here. So this will be good. This is pretty funny, actually. So we're going to go ahead and see something. You know what? Shout out to Craig. I wish Travis would be more like this.
I made that little extra add on to what you were saying earlier, Adam, is when they aren't fined an amount that's proportional to hurt them.
What the context of this is, they're discussing the profits made by the vaccine.
There is no, benefit to them not doing it next time. There's only benefit to break the rules. Why? Because like you said, they made all this money.
Right.
So why wouldn't they do
Pfizer
it?
Pfizer gets fined $10,000 a month because you're not allowed to advertise on television for any of the products that they do.
You're not allowed to advertise for any of the products they do. A pharmaceutical company is not allowed to advertise on TV. What? I mean, there's just so much common sense. I mean, I'm just blown away. And I know Travis is like, yeah.
And they do it anyway because the money that they make is significantly more than the $10,000 worth in fines that they get fined for having commercials. And it's like
10 grand.
They just keep doing it.
Even Craig is like, bro, 10 grand? I mean, that's how I looked when I was just listening to Adam. And Adam is only 30 years old, 31. I mean, he's just a young, he's just a boy. He's just a boy. That's all I can say. And he's always wanting to bring up common sense. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm a middle-aged dude. I think I'm older than Craig. So it's really easy for us because we have life experience to just hear the patterns when people are BSing you. So just to elaborate more on how much BS it's coming from Mr. Common Sense, Adam the Cringe, Craigler, whatever his name is. Let's go ahead and fact check this guy because, man, he's just talking a hot mess. All right, so you can see that I typed Pfizer gets fined for $10,000 a month. I can see that, pharmaceutical companies do get lawsuits all the time, and they lose too. And I'm also, just to put it out there, I'm one of those kind of people that can think two things can be possible at one time. They produce life-saving meds, and also they do shady business deals. I mean, yes, both can be true, but people also have incentives to be corrupt. Like Adam, he has a narrative that he wants to push so he can maximize his viewership, his clout. I mean, he got incentives to be just as crooked as Big Pharma. I mean, because he's having to make money. And yeah, let's go ahead and check this guy, man, because he's full of it. 2009, I mean, yeah, you can see there's some lawsuits, and everything's from 2009, 2007, 2018, and none of this aligns with making commercials during the pandemic. So I went to more searches, and I was like, well, how about Pfizer gets fined for advertising on TV? And yeah, there's a marketing case settled. But that's 2009. But I did search and I did find somewhere where they're doing some new ads. But I want you to notice the date, March 11, 2022 is kind of important to know. And when are you able to market your meds? You have to get the FDA approval. And the FDA approval was given on August 23rd, 2001. And once you get that, you're able to market your product. And that's what happened. And who was able to market their product? Oh, Pfizer. My goodness, Adam. What are you about? Oh, there's Pretty Boy Adam right there. Right now. There's Pretty Boy Adam. You know, and then where does he get all this common sense? You know, Adam Krigler is a famous American producer and writer. Was he from Hollywood? Moreover, he is also a director and a co-host of Tim Cast IRL. Besides that, he is a musician, skater, and a gamer as well. Gosh, man, I gotta get that resume. And also, I remember Craig would always say Twitter's not real life. And this guy's one of his co-hosts. And he is also renowned for being a Twitter star. He is verified as a warlord of Twitter by Fox News. Yeah. So, I mean, just like, come on, Craig, don't insult our intelligence by asking your audience, like, I don't know why people see us that way. Well, apparently we're alt-right. I mean, you're definitely aligned more toward the right. Come on, dude. And it's okay. Just don't insult people's intelligence. And all right, so enough of Adam. Well, did we watch all that? We didn't even finish watching his cringe. We just stopped. Craig's facial expression. I just want to hear that again because that always cracks me up. And then you'll just see Adam frail and start cussing.
Fined for having commercials, and it's like
10 grand?
They just keep doing it. Yeah, what's 10 grand? They're like,
whoa.
They're paying
You have to use your imagination to see this common sense.
They made $1.2 billion in the year 2000 on one of their products.
Yeah.
Just one. Now imagine what they're making today. I'm sorry, I gotta stop myself.
For real, it's and it's
I know.
insanity.
No, I know.
I'm learning so much right now. It's like an economic.
Blabs is learning so much. It's like an economics class. Well, I mean, she's trying to be nice. She's a sweet girl, a sweet woman. I mean, whatever. I'm trying to be respectful, but Blabs seems like an individual that's very kind, and she's just trying to remain composed. She's like, whoo! And Craig is just like, get me out of here. Get me out of here. And Travis is agreeing. He was like nodding his head the whole time. And you could see Adam just sinking back in his chair, just like, ugh. Common sense. That's what common sense does. Gives you that confidence and just talk all that noise on a podcast. So, enough of picking on Adam. He's just a boy. He's just a boy. We're going to go ahead and tackle Craig now. And, you know, I'm doing this with love. You know, I have nothing against Craig as an individual. I think he's a good dude. But there's things that we disagree on, and I'm going to make that known and make a good argument for that and show you some funny visuals and give you my best Jeff Foxworthy impression. So stay tuned. All right. Now, this is based on things Craig, because Craig leaves electronic paper trails all over social media. So when he's asking, well, why do people think this way? I'm going to go ahead and address that right now. So, if you give Adam the Cringe Krigler the ability to generalize liberals as liking the babies, you might be a right-winger. If you hyperfixate on culture war topics, you might be a right-winger. And you can just see the visuals because on the YouTube channel of SideScrollers, you can go to the tabs where they still have weekdays with Craig and his brother Brad. And they were very political. So he likes to say, oh, I'm not a political dude. I'm like, dude, the receipts are still on your channel. Are you wanting to insult our intelligence and just act like dumbfounded why people have an opinion the way they do about you. I mean, you're calling me an idiot by saying comments like that. You got Mr. Potato Head there waving saying, yeah, you like culture war topics, and you got normal is now dangerous. Every day the world gets dumber. Except for you, right? It's like we have a new name for cancel culture. Hate. I mean, it sounds like things based on your feelings, if you ask me. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next Jeff Foxworthy impression. All right, if you regularly retweet right-leaning content, you might be a right-winger. If you interview GOP politicians that flirt with seceding from the union, you might be a right-winger. You got Tucker, you got Limbaugh, you got a guy that's trying to push the initial process of seceding from the state of Texas. Not once, but twice. You got, could Texas secede? Is the U.S. headed for a civil war? I'm like, come on, dude. Ugh. You're part of that divisive content, man. I mean, I'm just saying. But the thing is, there's redeeming factors because you do offer a chance to talk to people that disagree with you, or you did. And then you could just see, the pattern of, not being on board with the vaccine and asking dumb questions and asking about people's feelings. How do you feel knowing that it's no longer authorized for use in the USA? So, you're not having to get the shot anymore, or actually, and Pfizer, are no longer, because the herd immunity and more people have been vaccinated, so it's not as big as a deal as it was before. I mean, maybe I'm a sheeple, maybe, but I did provide evidence of like hospitals reaching capacity in your area. I'll go ahead and link that video because I did a couple of rebuttal videos with Craig and Brad when they were getting all political, and and that was the time I was like, well, we're dumb, or maybe we don't know what we're talking about because people are saying stuff. And I was saying stuff again. I mean, you have every right to say it, but I have every right to give you my rebuttal, and I'll base it on facts. All right. Now, I can be very transparent with Elon. I think the left was very on board of the Elon train back when he was like pushing electrical energy, talking about the infrastructure to get e-cars going all over the country. So you had a lot of people on the left just going, war on fossil fuels, especially like AOC and all them. So yeah, fair. But now Elon, like the typical elitist billionaire, divide and conquer, is now flirting with the right by tackling the woke, buying off Twitter and firing all the blue-haired woke people. And so so Craig got his disco light. Elon declares war on woke. I mean, I don't know. That's just my impression. That's my mental image of Craig finding it. Because he was really excited about one live stream he had, and then he was talking about how awesome Elon was firing everyone, and people were actually pushing back. It's like, it's not cool to fire that many people, even if you disagree with them. I mean, people have lives, real lives. And he got held to account, and Craig at the very end, he was kind of upset. He's like, man, I don't know if I'm going to stream. I mean, you guys are just saying all this stuff. I mean, people can't even tell you what they're thinking. He was like threatening to end the stream early because of feelings. So let's go ahead and continue. Okay, here is my impression of, I said Dos Equis? I don't know. It's like, I really don't criticize politicians, but when I do, it's going to be a Democrat politician. So, of course, I'm curious, and I'm not saying there isn't any criticism for a Republican. I've yet to seen it. But, we got John Fetterman, and Craig had his say. He wanted to sound like, what, my good citizens, I'm going to tell you my opinion. And I'm going to go ahead and retweet this guy, who is Greg Price. So I was like curious, being the inquisitive guy that I am. Greg Price, God is real and dudes rock. Philly guy building freedom caucuses with SFC_network. What is that? State Freedom Caucus networks help conservatives win. Oh. I mean, that's cool. But then you have your typical right-wing, patterns of all the talking points and all the things they like to retweet from Clown World Today. All right. More common sense. It's like, I guess. It ain't, just all these right-wing tropes of celebrities and woke archives. And a long table of white women, just like with a disclaimer on the bottom. I guess it's saying it's fake news. And then, Chelsea Handler. I don't see why he's tweeting this. He's outraged. His feelings. He needs to just express himself that he's not happy that she's happy about being single, has no kids, and made a video about it. But the outrage could not be contained, and Craig had to let the world know. All right, and then Zuby. Zuby is more of, conservative light. He's not as aggressive, and he tries to seem very civil, but he got popular breaking the woman's world record of her deadlift. That made him an intellectual, I guess. So he got really popular for that. Like, dude, that's all I have to do is pick up some weights. And then you got Craig in the loop with the Daily Wire and the Louder with Crowder. And you like right-wing content. That's cool. Just don't try to act like we're idiots. We see patterns, dude. Speaking of something else. All right, I'm giggling because this is leading up to him getting mad at me. Have you or do you plan to pay Elon $8 for the blue checkmark or the checkmark? And everyone's saying, heck no. And he decides, maybe if I ask again, people will change their minds because I want to buy one. And if you do you, boo. But just don't expect people that follow you to align with you 24/7. We have our own opinions. And again, he gets a double no. And, only 3%, are currently, it shrunk. I have. And I am. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I plan to is 11%, and I plan to is 12%. So, yeah. And this is where he has some choice words for me. And I voted on there because I am a G1, I guess. And now it's G2. He likes to change stuff, but I'm a traditionalist because my ex-conservative values, I like tradition. I used to be an ex-Republican, so, I don't back down from fights, especially when they're civil and they're based on good arguments. So the blue checkmark celebrity meltdown is in full effect. What are some of the best reactions you've seen from people who are upset their precious checkmarks are gone? I'm sorry, I have fun, because that's the vibe I'm getting, and I'm just like, I'm still one of the cool people that never got the blue check mark. That's just how I feel when I'm pulling my Trump. And I'm in the majority of people who follow you, dude. And he got really upset because he likes his blue check mark. I'm like, I just don't want it. Is that okay if I have my take? It wasn't, just me. I am cool, whatever. So, and then this last slide has nothing to do with the escalation of him being mad at me, but it's me being transparent because on the video he calls me a grifter and he's called me a gaslighter on Discord. And I'm like, okay, dude, I'm very transparent with you. I'm a political podcaster. I like to debate. I like to have conversations. You can see when I talk to his mods to get on his podcast, I didn't hide that. I was very transparent. You can go to my YouTube and you can see the videos I made of you and I plan to do. It's just bad faith on him. And you can continue to see how he tries to act clueless. So here it is, feelings. Twitter is a platform that reminds me that there is a serious mental health problem and no one wants to do anything about it because feelings. And then you can just see somebody making a good comment. Bro, what happened to you? What did I do? He's playing dumb. And, that's the issue that I've seen with Stuttering Craig throughout the years. I mean, I don't know if he's a victim of his environment because he hangs around people that are considerably more conservative and it's just rubbed off on him and he hasn't noticed it. And the network that he had before was very inclusive with different thinkers. And I just don't see that right now. So, I mean, it is what it is, and that's all good. So let's go ahead and see how I kind of made him mad. And I'm not happy about that because I think he's cool. I mean, I think I would get along with him in person just fine. I mean, he's a peer. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say about my being cool for not having a check mark.
Man, and I love it. So fun to watch.
You don't love it.
Now, what's really funny, let's see, hold on. Oh, here we go. Oh, Lord. As you scroll through my Twitter here, you see people like, well, I'm still one of the cool people that never got the blue check mark. You're a grifter trying to make your name off my show. So it didn't work out very well.
I mean, it didn't work out very well. I don't know how you would define that. I mean, I've been getting more views, more than I've ever gotten before. But it's not, it's just like, why is that an argument? I mean, if you don't like somebody because they don't agree with you, that goes against the messaging that you've been telling people. You recently put out like Lex Friedman is like, we shouldn't disagree. I mean, we could disagree and have those arguments, but not look at each other as an enemy or whatever. And it also goes against this. People are going to try to keep you down. You don't let them. You guys have a goal, go get it. And that's my goal, to hold people accountable and to make good arguments. So if you value and you would like to see more content like this, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. And the last thing I want to say, if you want to address any of the things I've said, if you are a fan of Craig, or if you're Craig yourself, I'm easy to find. But if you want to continue to degrade the content I make and make accusations, it just shows the lack of balls. So I'll go ahead and call it a night. Hopefully you got value from this video, and I wish everyone a great evening or whatever time of day it is for you. And also, Craig, if you're watching this, I wish you the best too. So have a good one.